Welcome to this quiet corner of the night. You have traveled through a long, perhaps demanding day, carrying the weight of 1,000 small decisions, the endless rhythm of tasks, and the constant hum of the world. But right here, in this exact moment, none of that matters anymore. The day has completed its cycle. The sun has lowered itself beneath the horizon, and the world has been handed over to the gentle, protective keeping of the night. I invite you to lie back, to find that perfect, comfortable hollow in your pillows, and to simply allow yourself to be supported. You do not need to hold yourself up anymore. You do not need to plan, to anticipate, or to solve. For now, there is only the slow, rhythmic rise and fall of your own breathing. Let your eyes close, if they haven't already. Notice how heavy your eyelids feel. A natural, comforting heaviness that signals your body is ready to surrender to rest. Unclench your jaw. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Feel the tension melting down your arms, flowing out through your fingertips, and dissolving into the soft fabric beneath you. Before we drift deeper into tonight's gentle journey, remember to subscribe to Sleep Deep. Here, you'll always find peaceful stories that soothe the heart and quiet the mind. Where are you listening from tonight? Leave a comment when you awaken, or simply hold the thought in your mind. Your presence adds warmth to this quiet corner of the night. Here, no one rests alone. Every story is a soft lantern in the dark, illuminating a shared path to tranquility. As your body settles deeper into stillness, allow your mind to step away from the familiar walls of your room. We are going to travel purely through the quiet power of your imagination, to a place where time moves differently, a place where the rush of modern life has never reached, where the only clock is the slow turning of the sun and the moon, and the only calendar is the quiet shifting of the seasons. Imagine yourself drifting softly through the night sky, carried on a warm, invisible current of air. You are crossing vast oceans and rolling plains, moving gently toward a majestic mountain range in the heart of the ancient world. These are mountains that have stood silently for millions of years, their peaks completely cloaked in a soft, silver-blue mist. As you gently descend toward these ancient peaks, you can feel the air changing. It becomes incredibly crisp, pure, and refreshingly cool against your skin. It is the kind of air that clears the mind instantly, smelling faintly of crushed green leaves, damp earth, and the clean, sweet scent of rain that has just passed. You find yourself standing at the edge of a vast, ancient bamboo forest. The trees here are completely unlike the rigid forests of the lowlands. The bamboo stalks are tall, slender, and painted in the deepest, most calming shades of emerald green. They reach high into the twilight sky, their delicate leaves weaving together to form a soft, protective canopy overhead as a gentle evening breeze rolls down from the mountain peaks. The entire forest moves together. The bamboo does not resist the wind. It bends gracefully, swaying in a slow, rhythmic dance. The hollow stalks softly knock against one another, creating a hollow, wooden chime that sounds like the heartbeat of the earth itself. It is a deeply soothing sound, a natural lullaby that has echoed through these mountains long before human history began. When was the last time you looked up at the night sky and felt at peace in this forest? that peace is woven into every leaf and every shadow. The twilight is deepening now, turning the spaces between the bamboo stalks into pools of soft, indigo velvet. The mist, thick and cool, begins to roll across the forest floor like a slow-moving river of white silk. It wraps around the bases of the bamboo, softening every edge, muffling every sound, and turning the forest into a secluded, private sanctuary. In this world of swaying green and drifting white, there is no hurry, there is no urgency. Nature here operates on a grand, unhurried scale, and somewhere deep within this sanctuary, a soft, deliberate rustling breaks the stillness. It is not the sound of something hunting, nor the sound of something fleeing. It is the sound of a creature simply existing in perfect harmony with its environment. Through the parting mist, a shape slowly reveals itself, a figure of beautiful, striking contrast against the green background, black and white. Soft and rounded, it is a giant panda, moving with a quiet, deliberate grace that immediately commands a sense of calm. This magnificent creature, a true living relic of an older, slower world, is the embodiment of peaceful existence. There is no tension in its movements, no anxiety in its posture. Every step it takes on its padded paws is measured, thoughtful, and incredibly gentle, pressing softly into the damp moss without leaving a sound. If tonight's story reminded you of a beautiful memory, feel free to share it below when morning comes. For now, just watch this beautiful guardian of the forest. The panda pauses, turning its large, softly rounded head to gauge the direction of the wind. Its thick, dense fur is perfectly designed for this cool, damp environment, acting as a natural, built-in blanket that keeps it profoundly warm and dry regardless of the mountain chill. It blinks slowly, its dark eyes carrying an ancient, untroubled wisdom. To observe this creature is to receive a silent permission to rest. The panda does not concern itself with the future or dwell on the past. Its entire universe is right here, in the present moment, surrounded by the quiet rustle of leaves and the gentle embrace of the mist. It reminds us that sometimes the most profoundly beautiful thing we can do is simply to stop, to breathe, to allow ourselves to be exactly where we are, without needing to change a single thing. As the sky above the canopy turns from indigo to the deepest, softest black, dotted with the first faint glimmer of early stars, the forest settles even further into silence. And you, too, can feel that silence settling into your bones, washing away the remnants of the day, preparing your spirit for the deeper journey to come. The mist continues to weave its quiet magic through the dense, towering stalks of the bamboo forest, glowing with a faint, silvery luminescence as the moon begins to rise higher in the night sky. In this secluded sanctuary, the concept of time simply dissolves. There are no hours here, no minutes ticking away, no schedules demanding attention. There is only the gentle, cyclical turning of the earth, the slow accumulation of dew on the leaves, and the unhurried breathing of the forest itself. You can feel this profound sense of timelessness washing over you, a soothing balm for a mind that has been racing all day. Let that feeling settle into your chest. Allow your breathing to match the slow, steady swaying of the bamboo above. As you watch the giant panda navigate this jade-colored world, you notice the absolute intention behind every single movement. The panda does not rush. It does not crash through the underbrush or disturb the delicate balance of its surroundings. Instead, it moves like a soft shadow slipping between the stalks, a gentle giant that respects the profound silence of its home. The thick, damp moss beneath its padded paws absorbs every ounce of its weight, turning its footsteps into nothing more than a whispered secret shared between the creature and the earth. It is a beautiful reminder that we, too, can move through our lives with a softer tread, leaving behind the heavy footprints of stress and expectation. The panda eventually finds a comfortable, sheltered clearing beneath the sprawling branches of an ancient, moss-covered tree that stands like a silent guardian among the bamboo. Here, the ground is soft, slightly raised, and perfectly dry, offering a natural, inviting seat. With a quiet, heavy grace, the panda lowers itself to the ground, leaning its broad, sturdy back against the trunk of the tree. It settles deeply into the earth, letting out a soft, low breath that seems to signal a complete surrender to the present moment. Think about how your own body is resting right now. Feel the support beneath you, holding you completely, asking nothing of you in return. You are anchored. You are safe. You can let go of the day just as the panda lets its weight sink into the soft forest floor. Now begins a ritual that has played out in these misty mountains for countless millennia. The panda reaches out with a gentle, deliberate motion to grasp a nearby stalk of bamboo. And here, in the soft moonlight, you might witness one of nature's most quiet and beautiful adaptations. The panda does not grasp the stalk clumsily. Instead, it holds the bamboo with an incredible, delicate precision, wrapping its paw around the smooth, green surface. Tucked within its wrist is a remarkable biological secret, a small, elongated bone that acts very much like a thumb. It is not a true finger, but rather a brilliant, elegant solution crafted by millions of years of slow, patient evolution. This special adaptation allows the panda to hold its food with the grace of a musician holding an instrument. It uses this gentle grip to neatly and efficiently peel away the tough outer layers of the bamboo, revealing the tender, pale green heart hidden inside. The sound of this process is incredibly soothing. It is a soft, rhythmic snapping and peeling, reminiscent of dry autumn leaves rustling in a gentle breeze, or the quiet sound of a distant fire crackling in a warm hearth. Snap, peel, crunch. The rhythm is slow, steady, and infinitely comforting. In a world that often demands we consume our meals in a rush, always looking ahead to the next task on our list. Watching this magnificent creature eat is a profound lesson in mindfulness. The panda dedicates hours of its day to this simple, necessary act. It does not multitask. It does not hurry. It sits in the cool, quiet mist, entirely focused on the texture of the leaves, the taste of the fresh shoots, and the steady nourishment of its own body. For the panda, this repetition is not boredom. It is safety written into time. It is a continuous, reassuring loop of sustenance and peace. If this story brought you calm, leave a gentle comment for yourself when you wake. A simple note to remember this feeling of being completely unhurried, of finding profound satisfaction in the quietest, most repetitive moments of life. As the panda continues its rhythmic meal, the sounds of the forest seem to wrap around it like a protective blanket. The hollow chime of the bamboo knocking together in the wind, the soft, distant murmur of a hidden mountain stream flowing over smooth river stones, and the rhythmic, steady crunching of the panda's meal all blend together into a natural, hypnotic symphony. It is a lullaby composed by the earth itself, designed to lower the heart rate, calm the nervous system, and invite the mind to wander into the soft, formless spaces of early sleep. Notice how the edges of your own thoughts are beginning to blur and soften. The sharp details of your waking life are slowly losing their definition, melting away into the soothing, cool mist of the mountain air. You do not need to hold on to any of them. You can let them drift away, much like the discarded bamboo leaves fluttering softly to the mossy ground, gently rejoining the earth. The panda's dark, soulful eyes blink slowly in the dimming light, heavy with a natural, contented lethargy. The energy of the day is slowly winding down, pulling inward, conserving its warmth for the deep night ahead. The air grows cooler, but the panda remains perfectly, beautifully warm, insulated by its thick fur and the simple, grounding act of simply being. Let your own body feel that same deep, internal warmth, a comforting heaviness that travels softly down your arms, through your chest, and all the way to the tips of your toes. The mountain is holding you, the night is watching over you, and there is nothing left to do but drift. As the moon ascends higher into the midnight sky, its silvery light filters down through the dense, interlocking canopy of jade-green bamboo. The light does not pierce the forest harshly, rather, it diffuses through the mist, creating a soft, ethereal glow that paints the entire mountain in watercolor shades of silver, deep green, and indigo. The air grows incredibly still, holding its breath as the forest transitions into the deepest, most tranquil hours of the night. In the sheltered clearing beneath the ancient tree, the gentle, the rhythmic sound of snapping bamboo finally begins to slow. The panda, having gathered all the quiet nourishment it needs from the forest, slowly lowers its paws. The meal is over, not abruptly, but with a gradual, fading cadence. Like a pendulum slowly coming to rest, the panda lets out a long, deep exhale, a sound that resonates with utter satisfaction. It is a profound sigh that seems to ask the surrounding forest for nothing more. Listen to that imaginary sigh in your mind, and let your own body mirror it. Take a slow, deep breath in, filling your lungs with the cool, imaginary mountain air. And as you release it, feel the last remaining ounces of tension leaving your muscles. Now, we discover one of the most beautiful and restful truths about this magnificent creature. Unlike many animals that must constantly travel in large, noisy herds, constantly communicating, negotiating, and navigating the complex social hierarchies of a pack, the giant panda is a creature of profound, peaceful solitude. It does not need to lead. It does not need to follow. It does not need to perform for the approval of others or keep up with the frantic pace of a group. In a world that is always demanding our attention, always asking us to connect, to respond, and to be present for everyone else, there is something deeply healing about witnessing an existence that is perfectly content in its own company. For the panda, solitude is never a source of loneliness. It is a vast, expansive sanctuary. It is an unhurried freedom. The panda wanders its mountain territory alone, guided only by the slow changing of the seasons and the quiet rustle of the bamboo leaves. Think about the quiet of your own room right now. Sometimes, when the day fades and the world goes silent, the stillness can feel heavy. But tonight, allow yourself to view this quietness through the perspective of the panda. This solitude is not an empty space. It is a protective cocoon. It is a private kingdom of peace where you are completely safe from the demands of the outside world. Here, you are allowed to put down the roles you play during the day. You do not have to be the caretaker, the worker, the planner, or the listener. You only have to be you, resting softly in the dark. As the panda settles back against the mossy trunk of the tree, it begins a slow, meticulous routine of grooming. It raises a large, padded paw and gently brushes it over its ears, down its rounded face, and across its thick, woolly chest. The movement is remarkably tender for such a large animal. The thick black and white fur, which appears slightly coarse on the outside to perfectly repel the damp mist and the mountain snow, is incredibly dense and plush underneath, holding onto the deep, comforting warmth of the animal's body. Watch as the creature smooths its fur, over and over, in a slow, hypnotic rhythm. It is as if the panda is physically smoothing away any lingering energy of the day, brushing itself back into a state of absolute, pure calm. This gentle repetition is a quiet conversation the body has with itself, a reassurance that all is well, that the environment is safe, and that it is time to transition into rest. Imagine a soft, warm brush sweeping slowly across your own forehead, smoothing away the tiny creases of worry, easing the tension around your eyes, and brushing away the busy thoughts that have gathered there. There is a brilliant, quiet biology at work within this creature, because its diet of bamboo is so wonderfully simple and low in energy. The panda's body is actually designed by nature to move slowly and to rest often. It has evolved to conserve its energy, to avoid unnecessary exertion, and to spend long, luxurious hours simply sleeping. For the panda, resting is not a reward earned after a day of exhausting labor. It is a biological mandate. It is the very foundation of its existence. What a beautiful permission this offers us. You do not need to earn your rest tonight. You do not need to have checked every box on your list or solved every problem to be worthy of sleep. Just like this gentle giant of the mountain, your body is designed to rest. It is a natural, the essential cycle of life. Allow yourself to accept this rest without guilt, without hesitation, knowing that the most productive thing you can do right now is to let go entirely. The mist continues to thicken around the base of the tree, creating a soft, white blanket that tucks the panda into the landscape. High above, the moisture in the cool mountain air begins to condense on the broad, flat leaves of the canopy. Slowly, heavy droplets of dew begin to form. They gather mass until they can no longer hold on, dropping softly onto the leaves below. Plink. Plink. Asterisk. The sound of the falling dew is incredibly faint. A delicate, watery percussion that adds to the mesmerizing lullaby of the forest. The panda closes its eyes, its long, pale lashes resting softly against the dark patches of fur. The slow blink has become a permanent, heavy curtain drawn against the waking world. Its breathing slows down, becoming deep, regular, and audible, a soft, rhythmic rumbling in its chest. The mountain breathes in, and the panda breathes out. They are entirely synchronized. Let your own breath fall into this timeless rhythm. Inhale the stillness. Exhale the day. The journey deeper into the night has just begun, and the path ahead is paved with nothing but softness and shadows. As the midnight hour softly descends upon the mountain, the bamboo forest undergoes a quiet, invisible transformation. The mist, which earlier was just a thin, drifting veil, has now settled heavily onto the forest floor. It has become a thick, protective ocean of white vapor, pooling around the ancient roots and filling every hollow in the earth. This mist does something truly magical to the environment. It acts as a natural, perfect blanket of soundproofing. Every tiny echo, every sharp noise, every rustle of the wind is caught and softened by the millions of microscopic water droplets suspended in the air. The world here does not just become quiet, it becomes profoundly, beautifully muffled. It is the kind of silence that has a physical weight to it, a comforting pressure that wraps around the ears and whispers that the day is completely, irreversibly done. Imagine that same heavy, comforting silence filling your own room right now. Any sounds from the street outside, the hum of the house, or the lingering echoes of your own busy thoughts are being wrapped in this same soft, silver mist. The volume of the world is turning down, dial by dial, until all that remains is the slow, steady rhythm of your own heartbeat. With its eyes now fully closed, the giant panda rests against the mossy trunk of the ancient tree. But even in this deep darkness, even with its vision surrendered to the night, the panda is not lost. It is not disconnected from its sanctuary. Here, we discover a beautiful, unseen dimension of this creature's existence. For the panda, the closing of its eyes does not mean the world disappears. Instead, a different, much softer world gently reveals itself. Nature has gifted this solitary wanderer with an extraordinary sense of smell. As the panda rests, it takes in slow, deep breaths of the cool mountain air. With every inhale, it is painting a rich, vibrant map of its surroundings in its mind. It does not need light to know exactly where it is. It can smell the damp, rich earth beneath its paws, a scent that speaks of thousands of years of fallen leaves turning back into soil. It can smell the sharp, clean fragrance of the pine trees growing higher up the mountain slopes, carried down by the night breeze. It can smell the sweet, green moisture of the bamboo stalks, holding the memory of the afternoon rain. This invisible map is perfectly peaceful. There are no sudden surprises, no hidden dangers. The scents simply tell a slow, familiar story of a forest at rest. The panda processes this information without any anxiety, simply acknowledging the presence of the earth. the trees, and the air. It is a soft discovery of how life connects even in the dark. For those of us who carry the burden of an overactive mind, the dark can sometimes feel like a blank canvas where worries try to paint themselves. We are so used to relying on our eyes, on our ability to see what is coming, to plan, to anticipate, to control our environment. But tonight, the Panda offers us a gentle lesson in trusting the unseen. You do not need to see the path ahead right now. You do not need to figure out tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. Just as the panda trusts the familiar scents of its forest to tell it that it is safe, you can trust the familiar, quiet comforts of your bed. Feel the soft texture of the blanket against your skin. Feel the firm, reliable support of the mattress beneath your back. Notice the cool touch of the air against your face. These are your anchors. This is your invisible map of safety. You are held. You are sheltered. You do not need to keep watch over the world tonight. You can simply close your eyes, let go of the need to see, and trust that the morning will find you exactly where you need to be. If you are finding comfort in this quiet space, remember that here, no one rests alone. Every story we share is a soft lantern in the dark, gathering a community of weary souls who are all learning to slow down together. We are all learning to breathe a little deeper, to let go a little sooner, and to forgive ourselves for simply needing to rest. The panda shifts its considerable weight slightly, sliding just an inch or two lower against the base of the tree. It is a slow, luxurious movement, finding the exact, perfect hollow in the moss that fits the curve of its spine. When an animal of this size completely surrenders to gravity, it is a magnificent thing to witness. It does not resist the pull of the earth in the slightest. It allows the ground to take every single ounce of its weight. Let yourself experience that same total surrender. Imagine gravity not as a force pulling you down, but as a warm, comforting embrace rising up from the earth to hold you. Your arms are heavy. Your legs are heavy. Your mind is beautifully, wonderfully heavy. There is no need to carry yourself anymore. The earth is carrying you. The mountain is carrying the panda. We are all being held by something vast, ancient, and endlessly patient. As the night deepens, the panda's breathing falls into a steady, hypnotic rhythm. Inhale. Asterisk. The chest rises. A soft mountain of black and white fur expanding in the cool air. Exhale. Asterisk. The chest falls. A long, low sigh that travels through the quiet forest. It is a biological metronome, setting the pace for the entire mountain. The bamboo sways to this rhythm. The mist drifts to this rhythm. There is a profound beauty in this repetition. In our busy lives, we often crave novelty, excitement, and constant change, fearing that stillness means we are falling behind. But to the giant panda, this quiet, repetitive stillness is the ultimate goal. It is the perfect design of millions of years of existence. Routine is not boredom to a creature so deeply attuned to the earth. It is safety written into time. It is the reassuring promise that the world will keep turning. The bamboo will keep growing, and the night will always offer a place to rest. Let that rhythmic breathing become your own. Allow your breaths to grow slightly longer, slightly slower. With every exhale, imagine a tiny bit more of the day's tension dissolving into the cool, silver mist. You are drifting now, moving further away from the waking world, guided by the slow, gentle heartbeat of the ancient forest. As the deepest hours of the night unfold over the ancient mountain range, the bamboo forest enters a state of profound, undisturbed stillness. The moon has climbed to its highest peak, casting long, soft beams of silver light that filter down through the dense jade canopy. These beams of light catch the tiny, suspended droplets of mist, creating softly glowing pillars that reach from the sky all the way down to the mossy earth. The world here is painted in just 3 colors now: the deep, endless indigo of the night sky, the silver luminescence of the moonlight, and the rich, velvet black of the mountain shadows. It is here, in this beautiful interplay of light and dark, that we can observe another gentle miracle of the giant panda's existence. By day, the striking black and white coat of this magnificent creature might seem like a bold statement, a vivid contrast against the endless green of the bamboo. But here, in the natural theater of the forest, and especially in the snowy winters of these high altitudes, this unique pattern reveals its true, quiet purpose. It is a masterpiece of natural camouflage, designed not for deception, but for perfect, seamless integration with the environment. As the panda rests against the ancient tree trunk, its body perfectly still, it begins to visually melt into the landscape. The large patches of black fur on its shoulders, legs, and ears absorb the deep shadows cast by the bamboo stalks and the rocky outcrops. The black becomes indistinguishable from the dark crevices of the mountain. Meanwhile, the bright white fur on its face, back, and belly catches the soft moonlight, blending flawlessly with the drifting patches of silver mist and the pale glow of the night sky. The panda is not hiding out of fear. It is simply merging with its home out of a deep, biological sense of belonging. It is becoming one with the mountain, a living, breathing part of the forest itself. In our modern lives, we are constantly asked to stand out. We are encouraged to be visible, to make our mark, to ensure our voices are heard, and our presence is known. We carry the heavy armor of our identities, always performing, always maintaining the boundaries between ourselves and the rest of the world. It can be incredibly exhausting to always have to be someone in the bright light of day. But tonight, in the quiet sanctuary of your own room, you are invited to learn the panda's gentle art of becoming the shadows. You do not need to stand out right now. You do not need to be perceived by anyone. The dark of your room is not an empty void. It is a soft, protective cloak. Much like the mist on the mountain, allow yourself to visually and mentally blend into the comfort of your bed. Let the boundaries between where your body ends and the soft blankets begin slowly dissolve. You are safe to just be. A quiet, breathing presence, merging entirely with the peace of the night. When was the last time you allowed yourself to feel truly invisible in the best possible way, to simply step off the stage of the world and rest in the wings? Wrapped in the comforting anonymity of the dark, give yourself that profound permission tonight. If this thought brings you a sense of relief, leave a gentle comment for yourself in the morning. A small reminder that it is always okay to retreat and blend into the quiet background of life. The air in the bamboo forest is steadily growing cooler. A crisp, clean chill that carries the faint, sweet scent of crushed leaves and damp earth. But the panda remains entirely unbothered. Its thick, dense fur is a marvel of insulation, trapping the natural, radiant heat of its large body in a perfectly warm, personal cocoon. Even as the temperature drops, the panda's internal world remains incredibly cozy, secure, and deeply comforting. You can create this same warm cocoon for yourself. Notice the temperature of the air in your room, perhaps slightly cool against your cheek, and contrast it with the deep, enveloping warmth building beneath your covers. Your bed is your sanctuary, a perfectly engineered space designed to hold your warmth and keep the chill of the world at bay. Feel that warmth radiating from your chest, traveling slowly down your arms to your fingertips, and down your legs to the very tips of your toes. It is a heavy, golden warmth, relaxing every muscle it touches, coaxing them to let go of their grip on the day. Because the panda's diet of bamboo provides very little energy, its body has evolved to be a master of conservation. It does not waste a single heartbeat on unnecessary worry or frantic movement. As it rests beneath the tree, its heart rate naturally begins to slow down, dropping to a steady, rhythmic, and incredibly efficient pace. It is a slow, powerful drumbeat, echoing the unhurried pulse of the earth itself. Asterisk, thump, thump. Asterisk, long pauses of absolute peace. Asterisk, thump, thump. Place a hand gently over your own heart, if you like, or simply tune your awareness to its rhythm. You have been running, doing, and thinking all day, and your heart has faithfully kept pace with your demands. But now, it is time to give it permission to slow down. With every long, slow exhale you take, imagine your heart rate sinking with the gentle, unhurried pulse of the resting panda. There is no rush. There is nowhere to be. The only task left for tonight is to drift. The forest breathes in, drawing the cool mist through the bamboo stalks. The forest breathes out. A long, soft rustle of leaves settling into the night. The panda's chest rises and falls in perfect harmony with this vast, ancient respiration. Let your own breathing join this timeless rhythm. The world is safely sleeping, wrapped in a blanket of shadows and moonlight, and you are entirely welcome to join it. As the night progresses, the moon begins its slow, arcing descent toward the western horizon, painting the bamboo forest in a different, more subdued light. The silver beams that once pierced the canopy now cast long, gentle shadows that stretch across the mossy ground like softly drawn charcoal lines. The mist, having settled deeply into the valleys and hollows of the mountain, remains undisturbed, a quiet ocean of white beneath the endless dark of the sky. In this profound stillness, it is easy to feel as though the world has stopped entirely, suspended in a perfect, the fragile moment of peace. But the world has not stopped. It is simply moving at a pace that is far older and far slower than anything we are used to in our waking lives. Here, in the hidden heart of these misty peaks, we are not just looking at a quiet forest. We are looking at a living, breathing capsule of time, Consider the magnificent creature resting beneath the ancient tree. The giant panda is often referred to by those who study the Earth as a living fossil. Long before the first cities were ever built, long before human footprints ever marked the soil of this planet, the ancestors of this very panda were walking these exact same mountains through millions of years, while the rest of the world outside these valleys shifted, fractured, and transformed in loud, dramatic ways. The panda simply stayed. It found a quiet, hidden corner of the earth, surrounded by an endless sea of green bamboo, and it decided that this was enough. There is a profound, healing wisdom in this evolutionary choice. In a modern culture that constantly whispers and sometimes shouts that we must always be moving forward, always adapting, always growing, and always striving for the next horizon, the panda offers a radically different philosophy of survival. The panda did not survive by being the fastest, the most aggressive, or the most adaptable to constant change. It survived by finding a sanctuary and choosing to stand still. It survived by slowing down its heart rate, simplifying its needs, and resting deeply in the quiet spaces of the world. Think about the immense pressure you carry to constantly improve, to pivot, to keep up with the relentless, rushing tide of modern expectations. It is an exhausting way to live, a heavy armor you are forced to wear every single day. But tonight, as you lie in the comforting dark of your room, you are invited to put that armor down completely. You do not need to evolve tonight. You do not need to transform, to plan your next move, or to figure out how to navigate the changing landscapes of your life. Just for tonight, allow yourself to adopt the wisdom of the panda. Give yourself the profound, beautiful permission to simply stay exactly where you are. You have found your quiet corner. You have found your sanctuary beneath the blankets, supported by the reliable foundation of your bed. This is enough. You are enough, right here, in the stillness, without needing to change a single thing about yourself or your circumstances. If this thought brings a sense of relief to your weary mind, leave a gentle comment for yourself when you awaken. Remind yourself that it is not a failure to rest. It is the most ancient and successful strategy for finding peace. Here in the Sleep Deep community, no one rests alone. Every story we share is a soft lantern in the dark, reminding us that we are all allowed to step off the rushing river of time and find the quiet banks of the night. As you embrace this permission to stay still, turn your attention gently to the physical sensations of your body resting. Imagine the roots of the ancient tree that shelters our panda. These roots are thick, deeply buried, and intimately tangled with the dark, rich earth of the mountain. They anchor the massive tree against the winds of time, drawing quiet nourishment from the soil without any visible effort. Visualize your own body as having these same deep, invisible roots, extending softly down from your mattress, through the floorboards, and deep into the quiet, supportive earth below. Feel the gravity that holds you as a warm, comforting force, an embrace that ensures you will not drift away, that you are perfectly anchored in this exact moment. Notice the heavy, relaxed feeling in your calves and your thighs, sinking deeper into the soft fabric beneath you. Feel the broad, the steady surface of your back completely supported, allowing your spine to finally unfurl and release the tension of holding you upright all day. In the forest, the panda shifts slightly in its sleep, a slow, rolling movement that settles it even more deeply into the moss. Its breathing has become a long, unbroken rhythm, a continuous loop of drawing the cool mountain air in and releasing a warm, contented sigh out. The sound is incredibly low, a gentle, rumbling vibration that seems to emanate from the very core of the animal, harmonizing beautifully with the hollow, wooden chime of the bamboo swaying in the faint breeze. Let your own breath follow this ancient, unhurried metronome. There is no need to force the air. Simply observe it as it enters your nose. Cool and light, filling your lungs with a sense of spaciousness and calm. And as the air leaves your body, notice how it carries away the tiny, leftover fragments of the day's worries. With every slow, deliberate exhale, imagine your body becoming a little bit heavier, a little bit softer, and a little bit more intertwined with the quiet shadows of your room. The boundaries between you and the comforting darkness are beginning to blur, softening at the edges, dissolving the hard lines of the waking world. You are drifting peacefully on the slow, steady current of the night, carried effortlessly toward the deep, restorative quiet that your mind so deeply craves. The world outside can keep rushing, but here, in this sanctuary of stillness, time has gently closed its eyes, and you are completely free to do the same. As the deepest, most quiet hours of the night gently settle over the mountain, the moon finally slips below the jagged, ancient ridges of the horizon. In its absence, the sky does not become a harsh, empty black, but rather a soft, endless canopy of deep, velvet indigo, dusted with the faint, silver powder of distant stars. Down here, beneath the sprawling branches of the ancient tree, the mist has grown so thick and luminous that it seems to hold a gentle light of its own. It is a world wrapped entirely in cotton and clouds, a secluded, secret terrarium where the harsh realities of the world outside simply cease to exist. In this perfect, undisturbed isolation, a new sound slowly emerges from the background of the forest. It is not a sudden noise, but a sound that has been there all along, waiting patiently for the wind to die down and the bamboo to stop its soft chiming so that it could be heard. It is the incredibly gentle, musical sound of water somewhere nearby, hidden beneath the ferns and the moss-covered rocks. A small mountain spring is making its way down the slope. Listen closely to that sound in your mind's ear. It is a delicate, continuous trickling, the sound of cool, clear water flowing effortlessly over smooth, rounded river stones. The water does not rush. It does not crash or carve aggressively into the earth. It simply takes the path of least resistance, yielding to every obstacle, gracefully curving around the roots and the pebbles, allowing gravity to guide it softly downward. There is a profound, comforting lesson in the way this water moves. In our waking hours, we often feel the need to push through our obstacles, to force our way forward, and to constantly fight against the current of our circumstances. We expend so much of our precious energy trying to control the direction of our lives. But tonight, as you lie in the quiet safety of your room, you are invited to be like the mountain stream. You can simply let go. You do not need to fight the current of your thoughts or force yourself into sleep. you can simply take the path of least resistance, yielding to the softness of your bed, allowing the natural, gentle gravity of rest to pull you downward into peace. As the water flows continuously through the dark forest, the giant panda remains perfectly still beneath its tree, a magnificent monument of peace. But within this stillness, a quiet, invisible alchemy is taking place. The panda's body, heavily insulated against the cool mountain air, is acting as a soft, internal furnace. Slowly, methodically, and without a single ounce of conscious effort, the creature is digesting the tough, fibrous bamboo it gathered earlier in the evening. This is a biological process that demands time and absolute tranquility. The panda cannot rush this internal work. It simply surrenders to sleep, trusting that its body knows exactly what to do. The nutrients are quietly extracted, the energy is softly stored, and the physical experiences of the day are slowly woven into the very fibers of the animal's being. It is a masterpiece of natural efficiency, happening entirely in the dark, entirely at rest. Think about how much information, how many emotions, and how many interactions you have consumed today. Our modern minds are constantly fed a diet of endless tasks, bright screens, urgent messages, and complex social negotiations. It is a heavy meal for the spirit to process. For those of us who tend to overthink, we often carry this processing into the night, trying to actively sort through every conversation, every worry, and every plan while we lie in the dark. We try to do the work of the night with the frantic energy of the day. But just like the resting panda, your mind possesses a quiet, brilliant alchemy of its own. You do not need to consciously untangle the knots of your day. You do not need to figure it all out before you close your eyes. Sleep is the natural, gentle digestive of the human experience. When you finally allow yourself to surrender to the darkness, your subconscious mind takes over, slowly smoothing out the sharp edges of your memories, quietly filing away the lessons, and gently dissolving the immediate sting of your stresses. If you are someone who carries the weight of the day in your core, holding your breath or tensing your stomach against the invisible pressures of life, take a moment to bring your awareness to the center of your body. Notice if there is a lingering tightness there, a knot of unresolved energy. Imagine that soft, internal warmth of the resting panda, and let that same golden, soothing heat bloom within your own chest and abdomen. Breathe deeply into your belly, allowing it to rise softly with the intake of the cool, imaginary mountain air, and as you exhale, physically release the muscles of your core. Let your stomach completely soften. Give yourself permission to be beautifully, wonderfully unstructured. You do not need to hold yourself together tonight. The mattress is holding you. The quiet walls of your room are holding you. You are safely contained, and it is entirely safe to let your body unravel into the absolute comfort of the bed. As the hours stretch longer, the rhythm of the forest becomes even more languid. A slow, mesmerizing pendulum swinging through the deep mist. The panda's chest rises, a slow swelling of black and white fur, and then falls, releasing a warm, rhythmic sigh that joins the melody of the distant stream. The sound of the water, the gentle hum of the animal's breath, and the absolute stillness of the ancient bamboo merge into a single, continuous lullaby. Your own breathing is matching this slow, drawn-out cadence. The pauses between your breaths are becoming longer, filled with a sweet, comfortable emptiness. Your thoughts are no longer sharp or demanding. They have become like the tiny droplets of mist, floating aimlessly, touching nothing, simply dissolving into the vast, cool air of the mountain night. You are drifting further and further from the shores of the waking world, floating gently on a calm, dark river of peace, carried effortlessly toward the deepest, most healing sleep. The deepest hour of the night has finally arrived, bringing with it a profound and ancient silence that wraps around the mountain like a heavy, velvet cloak. In this sacred pocket of time, the world is not just sleeping, it is suspended in a state of absolute, motionless grace. The wind has completely died down, leaving the towering stalks of bamboo standing perfectly still, like silent sentinels guarding the secrets of the earth. The mist, which earlier danced and drifted through the forest, has now settled heavily onto the mossy ground. A thick, cool blanket of silver vapor that obscures the sharp edges of the rocks and the twisting roots of the ancient tree. Nestled within this silver sea, the giant panda remains a quiet monument of peace. Its large, rounded body is curled slightly inward, a posture of pure comfort and natural insulation. The thick black and white fur rises and falls with a slow, hypnotic regularity, marking the incredibly slow passage of time. Inhale. A deep, expanding fullness in the chest. Exhale. A long, releasing sigh that melts seamlessly into the surrounding silence. As we watch this magnificent creature resting so completely, so fearlessly in the dark, we are invited to look a little closer, to look past the visible stillness and discover a beautiful, hidden truth about this environment. Beneath the soft, damp moss where the panda rests, beneath the layers of fallen bamboo leaves that have been slowly turning back into soil for centuries, lies one of nature's most quiet and remarkable miracles. It is an invisible, sprawling network of life, a vast, microscopic web of fungal threads known as mycelium. This delicate, subterranean tapestry weaves its way through every inch of the forest floor, gently wrapping around the roots of the ancient tree, connecting them to the roots of the surrounding bamboo, and spreading out across the entire mountain. It is an unseen system of pure, quiet support. Through this delicate web, the trees and the plants are constantly communicating, sharing nutrients, water, and ancient chemical messages. They do not hoard their resources. They slowly, generously distribute them to wherever they are needed most, ensuring the health and balance of the entire forest. The panda does not need to know this network exists to benefit from it. It simply rests on the earth, entirely supported by a vast, interconnected community that is working silently in the dark to hold the forest together. The tree that shelters the panda is strong not just because of its own roots, but because it is anchored and nourished by this invisible web of connection. In our waking lives, especially when we are tired, overwhelmed, or lost in the labyrinth of our own thoughts, it is so easy to feel entirely alone. We carry the heavy, exhausting belief that we must be the sole architects of our own survival, that we must hold ourselves up, solve every problem, and navigate the dark entirely on our own. The culture of our modern world often isolates us, telling us that independence is the ultimate goal, and that asking to be held is a sign of weakness. But tonight, let the quiet wisdom of the mountain softly correct that thought. You are not alone, and you do not have to hold the world up by yourself. Just like the resting panda, you are part of a vast, unseen tapestry of support. Think of the foundations of the building you are in, reaching deep into the earth to keep you stable. Think of the countless hands that wove the fabric of the blankets currently keeping you warm. Think of the invisible, enduring threads of love and quiet affection from the people in your life, reaching across miles and time zones, connecting their hearts to yours even as you sleep. If this gentle realization brings a sense of comfort to your weary shoulders, allow yourself to fully accept it. You can leave a comment for yourself in the morning, a soft acknowledgement that it is okay to lean on the unseen structures of your life. Here, in this quiet corner of the night, no one rests alone. Every story we share is a reminder of our shared humanity, a soft lantern in the dark that illuminates the beautiful, invisible threads connecting us all. Bring your awareness now to the physical sensation of being supported. Feel the broad, steady surface of the mattress beneath you. It is your mossy forest floor. It is your anchor. You do not need to hover above it or hold any tension in your muscles. You can allow gravity to do its natural, comforting work. Imagine your own body becoming heavy, just like the panda, sinking a millimeter deeper into the bed with every long, slow breath you take. Feel the muscles in your back completely surrendering their grip. Let your shoulders widen and drop, melting into the pillows. Notice the weight of your hips, the heavy, relaxed feeling in your legs, all the way down to the soles of your feet. You are entirely held. You are safely contained within the quiet architecture of your room, enveloped in the soft, reliable embrace of the night. As the hours drift by, the biological rhythm of the panda slows down even further, reaching the deepest, most restorative phase of its sleep cycle. The internal furnace of its digestion continues its quiet, efficient work, turning the simple, humble bamboo into the energy of life, all without a single conscious thought. Your body, too, is performing these same quiet miracles. As you surrender to the heaviness of rest, your cells are repairing, your mind is clearing, and your spirit is being gently smoothed out, preparing for the dawn that is still a long, long way off. There is nothing left for you to do. There is nothing left to plan, to analyze, or to fix. The world is safely sleeping. The mountain is standing watch, and the invisible tapestry of the earth is holding you securely in its gentle, enduring grasp. Let your breath become a slow, soft whisper in the dark, a gentle tide rolling in and rolling out, carrying you further and further away into the peaceful, boundless ocean of sleep. The night has now reached its most profound and expansive depth, high above the hidden valleys and the mist-draped peaks. The rotation of the earth reveals a breathtaking canvas of ancient starlight. There is no moon to compete with them now, leaving the Milky Way to arc across the heavens like a river of crushed diamonds spilled across black velvet. These stars have looked down upon this very mountain range for millions of years, tracing the slow, imperceptible shifting of the continents and watching the quiet unfolding of time. Down below, enveloped in the silvery mist and the protective shadows of the ancient tree, the giant panda sleeps on, a perfectly still, breathing monument to that immense stretch of history. And in that quiet moment, under the endless sky, something feels different. A profound, gentle realization begins to settle over the forest, descending as softly as the dew gathering on the broad leaves of the bamboo. We are observing a creature that has outlasted epochs, surviving dramatic shifts in the Earth's climate and the rise and fall of countless other species. But when we look at this magnificent animal, we do not see the sharp, jagged edges we typically associate with survival. We do not see heavy armor, aggressive speed, or a restless, conquering spirit. Instead, we see a masterpiece of profound softness. This is the quiet, beautiful secret of the bamboo forest, a soft discovery that gently reshapes our understanding of the world. The panda, much like the bamboo it relies upon, has mastered the incredible art of yielding. When the harsh winter winds howl through these mountain passes, the tall, slender stalks of bamboo do not stand rigid and fight against the gale. If they were stiff, if they refused to bend, they would snap under the pressure. Instead, they gracefully bow. They lean all the way down toward the mossy earth, surrendering entirely to the force of the storm, and simply wait for it to pass. And when the morning comes and the air grows still, they slowly, effortlessly right themselves, completely unharmed. The panda's existence is built upon this exact same philosophy. It does not fight the mountain, it blends into its shadows. It does not hunt or compete in exhausting races. It calmly sits and eats the abundant, quiet nourishment that surrounds it. It survives not by being the hardest thing in the forest, but by being the most adaptable, the most peaceful, and the most yielding. In our modern lives, we are so often taught the exact opposite. We are told that strength means being rigid. We believe we must build thick walls around our hearts to protect ourselves, that we must brace our bodies against the constant demands of the week, and that to endure the challenges of life, we must somehow become as hard as stone. We carry this tension in our jawlines, in the tight grip of our hands, and in the braced, shallow way we breathe when we are stressed. It is an exhausting way to carry yourself through the world, constantly fighting against the wind. But tonight, let the ancient wisdom of the mountain wash over you. There is an immense, enduring strength in softness. You do not need to be rigid to survive. You do not need to be hard to be safe. True resilience, the kind that lasts for millions of years, is found in the ability to bend, to let go, and to yield to the moment. Think about your own body right now. Resting in the quiet dark of your room, are you still bracing yourself against a storm that has already passed? Are you still holding on to the tension of the day, as if letting go might cause you to break? Give yourself the beautiful permission to be like the bamboo. You can let down your armor. You can allow your physical body to completely soften. Notice the muscles in your face, the tiny spaces around your eyes, the bridge of your nose, the heavy line of your jaw. Invite them to release their grip. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Feel that wave of pure, yielding softness travel down your neck, cascading over your collarbones and melting into your chest. There is nothing to fight here. There is no wind in this room. There is only the incredibly gentle, holding presence of the bed beneath you. Allow yourself to bow to gravity, to surrender your weight entirely to the mattress. It is completely safe to be soft right now. It is completely safe to be vulnerable to rest. If this gentle shift in perspective brings a sense of comfort to your weary mind, perhaps you can leave a gentle comment for yourself when you awaken, a quiet reminder that your softness is not a weakness, but your most beautiful and enduring strength. Here, in this community of shared stillness, we are all learning to lay down our armor together. Every story is a soft lantern in the dark, guiding us back to the gentle truth of who we are when we are no longer fighting the world. As the panda dreams beneath the ancient tree, its breathing becomes a slow, rhythmic masterclass in letting go. With every long, deep inhale, the creature draws in the quiet peace of the mountain, and with every extended, rumbling exhale, it releases any trace of effort, sinking deeper and deeper into the damp, fragrant moss. It is entirely given over to the night. Let your own breath mirror this profound surrender. Do not force the air in or push it out. Simply allow your body to breathe you. Notice how, as you soften, your breath naturally deepens, finding its way into the lowest, quietest spaces of your lungs. The edges of your thoughts are blurring entirely now, losing their shape and their urgency, becoming like the drifting mist outside, formless, weightless, and beautifully empty. You are no longer holding the day, and the day is no longer holding you. You are simply floating on the slow, dark current of the night, yielding to the beautiful, heavy pull of sleep. The mountain stands guard. The stars wheel silently overhead, and you are perfectly, securely wrapped in the enduring strength of peace. The night has now stretched into its final, most profound chapter, high above the bamboo canopy. The grand, sweeping arc of the Milky Way continues its slow, silent journey across the heavens. A glittering river of ancient light, keeping watch over the sleeping earth. The air on the mountain has reached its coolest point. Crisp, pure stillness that holds the faint, sweet memory of damp moss and crushed green leaves. In this deep, suspended hour, the boundary between the forest and the sky seems to disappear completely, merging into a single, vast ocean of peace. Down in the sheltered hollow beneath the ancient tree, the giant panda is fully submerged in the healing depths of sleep. It has become a seamless part of the landscape, a soft, breathing hill of black and white fur that rises and falls in perfect rhythm with the mountain itself. There is no movement here, no lingering echo of the day's journey. There is only the incredibly slow, steady pulse of life sustaining itself in the dark. As we observe this absolute stillness, a gentle, comforting truth reveals itself to our weary minds. In our waking hours, we are often taught to believe that the most important moments of our lives are loud. We chase after grand announcements, dramatic changes, applause, and the busy, noisy evidence of our own productivity. We spend so much energy trying to make ourselves heard in a world that never stops talking. But here, in the secluded sanctuary of the mountain night, we learn a different philosophy. We learn that the most beautiful things always arrive in silence. Think of the way a heavy snowfall blankets a noisy city, turning the streets into a soft, muffled painting. Think of the way a deep, ancient forest grows, adding rings to its massive trees over hundreds of years without ever making a sound. Think of the way the sun finally breaks over the horizon at dawn, painting the sky in brilliant colors of gold and peach, all in absolute, breathtaking quiet. And think of the exact moment you fall asleep, a quiet, invisible threshold that you cross softly, without any fanfare, simply slipping from the weight of the day into the weightless embrace of your dreams. If this story brought you calm tonight, if this gentle reminder of the power of silence resonated with your tired spirit, leave a gentle comment for yourself in the morning. A simpler, quiet note of gratitude for giving yourself the permission to rest. Don't forget to subscribe to Sleep Deep for more peaceful nighttime journeys. Here, you are always welcome to step away from the noise. You are always part of a community that understands the deep human need to slow down. Now, let us bring our full attention back to the magnificent creature resting in the mist. We are going to watch it sleep, and in doing so, we are going to invite our own bodies to follow it into the deepest, most restorative shadows of the night. The panda's large, rounded head rests heavily upon its thick, padded paws, the muscles in its neck and jaw, which earlier worked with such deliberate precision to peel the tough bamboo, are now completely slack. There is not a single ounce of tension left in its face. The eyes, those dark, soulful windows to the ancient world, are gently but firmly sealed shut. The eyelids are heavy, a soft, dark curtain drawn completely over the waking world, blocking out the silver moonlight and turning the panda's vision inward, toward the quiet canvas of rest. Feel that exact same heaviness in your own eyelids right now. They are so wonderfully, comfortably heavy, like two soft weights resting gently over your eyes. You could not open them now, even if you tried, and there is absolutely no reason to. The visual world is turned off. The screens are dark. The room is safe. You are simply resting behind closed doors, secure and beautifully blind to the demands of tomorrow. The panda's breathing has slowed to its absolute lowest, most hypnotic cadence. It is a biological masterpiece of conservation. Inhale. The massive chest slowly expands, a gentle mountain of fur rising against the cool air, drawing in the pure, quiet essence of the forest. There is a long, luxurious pause at the top of the breath, a moment of perfect, suspended stillness. And then, exhale. A long, low, rumbling sigh escapes into the mist. The chest softly collapses, the heavy body sinking just a fraction of an inch deeper into the damp, welcoming moss. Notice your own breathing falling flawlessly into this rhythm. You do not need to control it. Simply watch it happen. Your chest rises slowly, softly, effortlessly. You hold the quiet air for just a second, and as you let it go, you feel the mattress rising up to catch you. You feel the heavy, relaxed weight of your shoulders, your arms, and your legs melting into the bed. You are sinking, millimeter by millimeter, into the soft, secure foundation of your sanctuary. Any remaining thoughts in your mind, the echoes of conversations, the tiny, lingering worries, the plans for the days ahead are losing their grip. Allow the thoughts sparked by curiosity to drift gently, like paw prints fading in fresh snow. Watch them dissolve into a vast, clean expanse of white. The snow is falling softly in your mind, covering everything in a pure, untouched layer of quiet. There are no paths to follow anymore. There are no destinations to reach. The panda's limbs are entirely loose. The large, powerful paws rest limply against the earth. The remarkable thumbs tucked away, completely at peace. The animal's core is radiating a deep, golden warmth, a cozy internal furnace that gently hums with the slow, invisible work of digestion and healing. Let that same golden warmth spread through the center of your own body. Feel it unwinding the tight knots in your stomach, smoothing out the invisible armor you wore all day. You do not have to hold yourself together anymore. You do not have to be strong. You do not have to be anything at all. The mountain is holding the panda, and the night is holding you. The vast, unseen tapestry of the earth is supporting your weight entirely. The sounds of the forest are fading now, becoming nothing more than a distant, watery memory. The trickle of the mountain stream, the hollow chime of the bamboo, the soft rustle of the mist, they are all blending into a single, continuous hum of absolute peace. Let the darkness wrap around you like a heavy, comforting blanket. Let the silence fill the spaces between your slow, rhythmic breaths. You have traveled far today, but the journey is over. You are home. You are safe. Drift now, deeply and softly, into the beautiful, waiting arms of the night. Good night.